Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome back if you already subscribed. I really hope you like this, and if you do, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And with that, let's get on to the video. You're sitting in the dorm's common room, reading a book. More like a book about All Might. You had read it many times. But now that he's been your teacher, you wanted to compare the stuff in the book to the real deal. And honestly, the book never talked about how funny he actually is in real life. That's when a voice from behind caught you by surprise. My Anne? You're still reading that book? You're such a nerd. Mina laughed a bit. He knew she was joking around with you. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I see Midori reading that. But with you, it's kinda surprising. I never imagined you being this into All Might. I mean, yeah, he was the #1 hero and everything. But by looking at you, honestly, I would never expect you to like him as much as you actually do. You slightly laughed. Honestly, it isn't just All Might. I love reading about all types of heroes. Old ones, new ones. They're all so interesting. You brought the book to your chest and smiled as big as you could. I actually got a whole book on Mr. Aizawa. I mean, it's only embarrassing now, cause he's our teacher, but it's still kinda cool. Mina laughed loudly as she sat down next to you and leaned on your shoulder while she looked down at the floor. Now I see why you liked Doria. You guys have a lot in common. She slowly spoke. It was true you had. Honestly, still have feelings for Midoriya. But honestly, you knew you liked Uraraka, so you would just push those feelings down as deep as you could. Mina and Jiro were the only ones who knew your feelings. Well, out of the girls at least. Somehow, a couple of the boys found out. Most of them you could keep quiet besides one. A one loud-mouthed hothead who'll drop hints to Midoriya. Luckily, Midori is too oblivious to understand that. Hey, you ever gone to hum? Mina looked up at you. You just gave her a sigh. Nah, I'm just gonna focus on getting stronger. Mina just nodded. Later, it was morning when you realized you woke up later than normally. You couldn't even do your hair. You just quickly brushed the mess and got dressed and everything else you needed to do before you ran to school. And luckily, you made it before Mr. Aizawa. You were in the clear. You were huffing and puffing and accidentally activating your quirk. The room was getting filled with hot, powerful winds, blowing papers everywhere. Once you got your breath, you turned to Mina. Damn it, Mina! Why didn't you wake me up? You yelled, with another big wind. Calm down, loser. You're blowing my shit everywhere, dumbass. Bakugou yelled, still focusing on Mina, till you heard Midori speak up. My Anne, you made it. That's what matters, he said, with his big cute smile. That made you blush slightly, and also calm down. As you took your seat, you mumbled, Dummy. You're Doria. You're really good at calming my Anne down even when she's all upset. She sounded all cheerful. Yeah, we've been best friends for a couple years now. So I guess we get each other, he replied with a cheerful voice. Hearing the cheerfulness in his voice made you smile to yourself. How cute, you thought. But the cheerful vibe inside you stopped when Bakugou spoke up. Yeah, I wonder why that is. He snickered, which caught everyone's attention. Like he said, "'Cause you've been friends for a while now," he said plainly as you gave him a glare. Bakugou just huffed and looked away. Everyone at this point was staring at both you and Bakugou until he yelled at them to stop staring, and with that, everyone looked away. But that's when Bakugou leaned down to your level and whispered in your ear, "You tell him today, or else I'll tell the whole class, and how embarrassing it would be for everyone to know that you like someone who likes someone else." You swallowed and sunk in your seat. Why the hell would he want you to tell Midori when he knows Midori likes someone else? How cruel is he truly? You have been on at least decent terms with Bakugou. You didn't get it. But you made up your mind. You'll tell Midori. At least this way. Maybe if you get rejected, it will be just between you and him. Before class started, you went up to him and whispered, "We need to talk after we're done eating. Can we go talk somewhere?" He just looked up at you and nodded. When you went and finally sat down, you laid your head on the desk and sighed, trying your best to listen to whatever was being taught. It was now lunchtime. You were sitting with everyone, waiting for Midori to get done eating. That's when something happened that broke your heart. Uraraka leaned over and kissed Midori's cheek, and Momo asked a question that made your heart freeze. "Are you guys a thing now?" Momo asked way too happily, and the answer broke you even more. "Yeah," they both said, blushing, and with that you could feel tears trying to break free. And of course, Midori noticed. "Why, Anne?" He tilted his head, looking worried. "I'm just so happy for you guys." He let some tears escape, but he put on the biggest smile that you could. "I knew you guys were meant to be. I figured you guys were gonna finally man up and tell each other." You forced a giggle. "But if you excuse me, I gotta..." Before you could finish, the person who you were gonna go looking for was now standing at the end of the lunch table. It was Bakugou. He looked at you and sighed slightly, grabbing your hand and dragging you away. But before you guys could get too far, Midori yelled, "Oh yeah, my Anne, what did you want to talk about?" You couldn't even answer before Bakugou answered for you. "Doesn't matter now," he asked, as he set off his quirk in the hand that wasn't holding yours. And with that, it all clicked in Midori's head. He figured it out. Why you were crying, and why Bakugou was taking you away. You followed Bakugou. You're still crying when he pulled you into an empty classroom, and once he let go of your hand, he felt your knees and started sobbing and crying louder and harder, holding your chest. Bakugou just stood at the door, watching the hall, making sure no one was coming as he let you get it all out. After 10 minutes of the only sound being your sobs, he finally spoke up. "Come on, idiot. He wasn't that great." He sounded mean, but you could tell this was his way of trying to help you. "Yes, he was. He was everything I wanted." You sobbed, and he rolled his eyes and kneeled down in front of you, wiping away your tears. "Shut up," he asked. "Just shut up. I'm better. Can't you see that?" he yelled. You were confused, but you stared at him. He had a slight blush across his cheek, but his face still looked angry. "I'm better. And now that he was someone else, you can finally see I'm the person you should be with. I'm the better choice, you idiot." He took a hold of your shoulder and roughly shook you. "Why couldn't you see that? How didn't you see I've been here the whole damn time? It pisses me off that you like that loser when he couldn't even see what he had in front of him. How could he be such an idiot?" He finally stopped shaking you, and he was now staring at you. You looked down and smiled to yourself. "Bakugou." You looked up and kissed his nose. "You should have told me, dummy." You giggled slightly. "You should have known, you idiot." He kinda yelled in your face, hugging you close to him, stroking your back to comfort you. He understood that you couldn't be with him now, but he was hoping that once you got over your heartbreak, you could finally have a chance with you. You weren't really sure how you felt about Bakugou yet, but you could see yourself falling for this loudmouth.
Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as I did making it. Anyway, goodbye.